My Gavan and Melonin, and well met indeed. I'm Arakir Galadirthan, and welcome back to Warhammer 2 as we continue on as Belegar Ironhammer. I thought I would start today with a brief recap of the whole world, because toggling Fog of War is not, well, I'm sure it is a thing, I've just never bothered to look up how to get the console up. But you essentially get toggling Fog of War by just simply knowing people around the world. So as you can see, in the western side of the world, the Order Tide is doing remarkably well. Now, if you're unfamiliar with this word, it just means all the nations who would naturally oppose chaos. They are called the Order Tide. And specifically, it refers to the end game with the arrival of chaos, or it's not really end game, is it? Sort of mid game, when all of the nations who would naturally oppose chaos ally together to create one giant conglomerate of order, and this is colloquially known as the Order Tide. And the name can be used as here. So chiefly, for our purposes, it is the Knights of Bretagne, allied with Zorichland, or Zahaichland, and forming together with us, the Dwarfs. Karak get involved in this as well, as does basically every Dwarf, and also these nations down here. Essentially any human who hasn't fallen to chaos, any Dwarf who hasn't fallen to chaos, any Elf who hasn't fallen to chaos, and the Lizardmen, because they just simply never fall to chaos. They all band together. But the point of this story is that our western lands are now really secured. Our only threat comes from the Wood Elves, and they are not going to go on massive rampaging campaigns against us. So in the south, Sartosa was taken down by Spain, Estalia, and that's completely shut down any threat there. Italy took down the Skaven that were near us and could have caused a real issue. And then, of course, the world is now fighting against Grimgore's Ardboys, of which we are a part. So this is where our chief threat's going to come, because in the north, one of the Undead factions has already been defeated, and the other one, as you can see, is now being completely overwhelmed by the Reichland. Well, the Empire. The Reichland is the region that they come from, and I don't think that's their actual name.
Welcome. Oldest friends of the
No, they do go by the Reichland. Oh, interesting. But anyway, so our western lands are now really secure is the reason why I've done this, just to show you that we don't need to really worry about this. We've got to keep the Wood Elves in check, so an army will need to stay here lest we lose to them. But primarily, we need to get more troops over here because, as you can see, all of Grimgore's might and valor, orcs don't have valor, all of Grimgore's hate is now being poured into us. He's come back and sacked Valai's Sorrow, which actually I'm quite thrilled with. But there are now 3 armies here versus our 1. Now, our 1 army is pretty good, although we could do with upgrading these Dwarf Warriors, and we could do with doing that sooner rather than later. But we cannot, unfortunately, hope to beat both of these together, I do not think. And as you will note, they can all move wherever they want. That's because both of them are in the underway at the moment. They can't attack when they're in the underway. And of course his normal movement will be nowhere near that extreme. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to end the turn and see where they go, and then we'll move from there. I'm not too worried about Karak 8 Peaks at the moment. The garrison there, I think, can hold off probably both of those armies. But I doubt he'll take all 3. But we could probably nip in and take down Wurzag before he joins the main force and hits Karak 8 Peaks. So that's my main thinking. But over in the west, of course, we just secured the Southern Grey Mountains with our victory there, and our army, led by our old friend Alric Zufbaden. And he's got some of these stonemasons, so we want to fight with this army because it's got some of the new units added by the mod that I'm using. So our only real target is to keep pressing on the Wood Elves, but to march into Athelloren is suicide, to be honest. The entire province and region causes attrition for our army, which means we lose troops just being in Athelloren. And not only that, but we also can't even use the region once we get there. But we could try and sack it, and I think that is what I'm going to do. So we'll keep him there for the moment just to heal, and then we'll tentatively try and take out the King's Glade. I'd rather seek peace with the Wood Elves, but I don't think that's going to come anytime soon because we fought them too much. So let's end the turn and see what Grimgore's going to do. It seems very much that, in similar premise to Divide and Conquer, actually, in Divide and Conquer, if you're playing as an evil nation and you allow Mordor to do well, evil will win the whole game, generally speaking. There's a knock-on effect that causes them to do very, very well. And I feel like in this situation, there's a similar kind of vein in that if you allow the Empire, the proper Empire, the Reichland, to grow and become a real threat, they will wipe out any threat in the north and save basically the whole world on their own. Oh yeah, go on, Talaya. Who are you at war with now? Warriors of Chaos and the Dread Fleet. Yeah, I'm happy to be at war with them if need be. Right, interestingly, Wurzag has buggered off into the mists, and Valia's Sorrow has been occupied, and Grimgore has come for us where he's raiding, but we can reach him now, so we can fight them. We can, say it with me now, divide and conquer, because that's what they've allowed us to do. Oh, the Brayherds come, and they're both raiding. So Wurzag is down over there, but that's just so stupid. All right, well, we're going to go and beat Grimgore for a second time, but let's just see what is the. How long are you going to take? 2 more turns. I'll happily wait there till you're completely replenished. Festa Spike, you are going to get a gate, because you always need gates, you just never know. And we will take the growth building for you as well. And that means, sadly, we don't have enough money. Oh, we're out by like 100 gold coins, if that. Ugh, grumble, grumble, grumble. Right, let's kill Grimgore and get him sent packing then, shall we? If you're wondering how I'm nipping around, by the way, in the game there's an option to set camera bookmarks. I think this has been in the game since Med 2, but I never used it in Med 2. And so it's a fantastic way of jumping around, particularly when you're playing as the Wood Elves, for example, or Belegar, where your nation is naturally split between 2 different locations. Now look at that. That is ridiculous. I was going to say moronic, but that's not really. How heavily in our favour is that? It just makes me think, why would I bother fighting that? We are going to ruin him. It's come as a close victory, but that's only because we've got an army of dwarf warriors, remember. And Belegar's leveled up. Nicely done, sir. Orcsbane. Oh, yeah, why haven't we turned that on? Dear, oh dear. Yes, please. Been fighting orcs for days now. Let's get that going. And Rama has improved again. Oh, let's give you a defensive coordinator. I'd really like Valia's, sorry, but it depends where Wurzag's going to go, doesn't it? But we can't cross the river, even though we've got all that movement. We can't do anything with it, because we can't get across the blooming river. It's very frustrating. Can you go into... No, we've used up more than half our movement. Now, just get as close as you can to that. We're going to try and cross the river. Now, they might both attack us, but I really don't fear these threats, to be honest. Argor, Brainbasher, and Wurzag... I just don't think... Oh, he's got Black Orcs, actually, who have proven to be a threat in the past. Orc Boar Chariots. Or his army seems a lot better than Grimgore's. We'll see how we get on. Because he's almost certainly going to attack us now. But Grimgore's gone down. I'd really like Valia's Sorrow, please. That is a big wish list request. Karak have now secured our eastern border. They've secured much of our northern border, meaning we've only got to focus on this southwest direction. But it's still a wide open plain. Oh, did she do it successfully? No, she failed. There we are. You can see it on the right-hand side. Oh, and Grimgore's just called a war on Karak Izor. Oh, for goodness sake. Oh, we are about to be overrun. You can see the war already taking effect with the armies getting a secondary army. Oh, dear, 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 dear. Right, the army's got to move back to Karak Izor. The plans with the Wood Elves are put on hold. Karak Izor is about to be the site of many, many battles. Diplomatic relations with the Golden Order, give them fire. We've already given them fire, but we'll do it again. Right, Grimgore's last dying breath, he seeks to disrupt us. Does that give public order? Please give public order. No, it does not give public order. Right, we'll go with the tannery first. And we'll go with that first. Because, unfortunately, we now lose -1. A lot of that's coming from the corruption. Ah, but Untainted is rising, so the corruption one will drop down. And there aren't any more vampires, are there? Ah, Wissenberg is held, as is Dottenbach. And there's a vicarious... or there's a... Not vicarious. That means living through someone else, really, doesn't it? There is a osmosis-like effect of corruption, that's what I mean. By merely bordering a nation that is falling to a type of corruption, you yourself will then also become corrupt. And the vampires love a bit of corruption. Oh dear. Right, well, that war, though, will at least mean that we can take Valia's Sorrow and unite this region. So thank goodly goodness for that. I will take that clan barracks and the gates. Gates everywhere, please. Although we don't really... look at Karak, really storming out into the wilds there. Where is... Grimgore's coming from the south, so if we can send Karak... If we send the dwarves into Bitterstone Mine... There you go. You guys bugger off and take Bitterstone Mine and distract our enemy.
It is time.
Karak Ziflin. Oh, there's Ubersreich. I don't want Karak Ziflin. Oh.
Yes.
Karak Hearn is who we would want to confederate with now.
Come, kin. Let us feast and drink.
We cannot do that yet, and I think we cannot do that because we've confederated someone else. There we are. Oh, there are negatives confederation. It was just hidden behind the 8 Peaks thing, I think. So all dwarves dislike us for a while, and our public order is down. That's the reason. There we are. We've only got one more turn of that then, and then everyone will like us again. So that's not a problem. Right, let's take Valia's Sorrow then and get this over with. So the WHII mechanic, many of you will already know what this is, but I'm going to tell you anyway. Grimgore has essentially dictated this as a crusade location, from liking in its medieval too, because it's where most of you have come from. So he's dictated it as a crusade, but what it then actually means is that every single orc army under his banner then starts to create a secondary army that follows them around. But it doesn't just follow them around, it's actually part of their army. So it's a way that they've created it so that you can have a one banner army that actually has 2 banner armies within it. It's a very clever it's a clever mechanic. I do quite like it. And you'll note at the top there that the units slowly join the WHII. So again, it's really similar to a crusade from Med 2, right? Really similar. Alright, we can lightning strike, which at least takes away those reinforcements, who I think are the WHII ones. Yes, they are. Dropping it down to just Ublug Squigbeard, the garrison, and Wurzag himself. I think we can take them. But this is a fight we need to make, and this is one we need to turn the Thunderers. We need the Thunderers to do well here. I'm not too worried about Karak Izor. It's too far away from Grimgore's heartlands to be overrun, I think. And we have a really strong garrison in Izor, and we've now got a strong banner army there as well. So it'll be a cold day in hell before the orcs take Karak Izor from us. Dwarven supremacy will reign supreme. Which is tautological. There's a little orc encampment over there, as you can see. They live like orcs would. Here's a bone, because we're orcs, we're super edgy. Ooh, we don't like architecture. Ooh. Fools. Right, we did attack them, but we've probably got massive range superiority, so they are almost certainly going to come towards us. And I like this little area over here, to be honest. Or do we want to stand on this little bit of a hill? Yes, stand on this little bit of a hill. We've got 3 grudge throwers. Now, he has got cavalry, and he's going to almost certainly use it against us. So, this isn't one where we can just put 3 quarrelers. Oh, we could use the quarrelers as cover a bit, though. Because he loves flanking round, don't they? Oh, actually, we're not on a very good hill here at all. The cannons have no trajectory. But if we go on this hill, they can run up this one and completely gut it out. And we'd require them to come in from there if we were fought on that hill. What about this little slope just here? Does that at least buy us some height advantage? Little. I think we need to move to there. Cannons, ideally. It's one of those annoying and very irritating things. His cannons, ideally, should be in the front line. So that nothing is in their way and they've got complete free reign. Because unlike the grudge throwers, they fire in straight lines rather than arcing loops. Of course, we could just put the cannons a little way away, give them one defensive unit and have them just firing in till the cows come home. I think that's probably a better bet. But then the enemy cavalry is going to seek them out, so we've got to try and defend them. I think I am going to go for a bit of a drastic plan and have the siege the siege over there. Belegar and you come there. Dwarf warriors, and there we are. And then that last dwarf warrior then is definitely going to be needed to just sit and cover those. Right, put some thunderers there. I tell you what, actually do more than one. So we've got the dwarven warrior over there who's going to cover that left-hand side. You're going to focus down on anyone that comes at Belegar. You're going to go there. You're going to cover that gap. You're going to cover that gap. This might be the very worst decision I've ever made in my life. Time will tell. You're covering the flank of those thunderers. It is a reckoning. And there we are. No, I think that might be alright. We might be alright. They will come towards us though, almost certainly. Yeah, look, they're already on their way. Ugh, Wurzag firing crap at us. Pin that bugger in place and bring him down. Look how much they're trying to flank. They're desperate on their flanks. Get the Quarrelers to turn on that side. You can fire at whatever you like, to be honest. Belegar. Stand and defend. Cover him. Cover him. We're doing right on that right-hand side. That Arachnarok's taking a right beating from the cannon fire. How are we doing? How are we doing? Go for those Black Orcs. Don't worry if you hit our own ones. Dwarf Warrior's covering nicely on that side. He says, hit those big uns. Ah, the Thunderers have been hit. Didn't have anywhere near enough protecting on that side. There's so much range. It has so much cavalry, sorry. Ah, but the Grudge Throwers have decimated those Black Orcs. Thunderers, you're just going to have to hold that line. Belegar, come back. Don't go off chasing things. Dwarf Warriors go to there. Come on, Grudge Throwers, you're so important to the plan. Where did Wurzag go? Oh, he's at the back still somewhere. Oh, he's running. What a coward. Savage Orc boy, Biggins. How are we doing on the left? Siege is being protected still. Let's get you to come and get over involved here. Not too worried about Orc boys there. Grudge Thrower! Black Orcs over there. Target them. Grudge Thrower here. Doesn't really matter actually. You can go for those boy Biggins. Cannons. If Wurzag ever returns and shows his ugly face again, you know what to do. Ah, there's Savage Orc boys there, actually. Swivel on your post and hit them. Ah, bugger. They've just made it through. Where on earth is their banner? Damn it, they hit a cannon. Oh, there they are. That's their banner. Oh, they're routing. Oh, the whole army's routing. It's over. Yes! Kill what you can. Kill whatever you can. Just fire at things. Those Black Orcs there. Go on, give them a couple of volleys before they get out of range. You can do it, chaps. We didn't kill Wurzag, but that doesn't matter, does it, actually? Because if we win this battle, we take the town and all is well. And now we can just spend a few moments focusing on upgrading Belegar's melee line because it needs serious attention. Wurzag didn't kill a single bloody soul, did he? Absolutely worthless. Wurzag the Great Green Prophet. More like Wurzag the Worthless is what they should call him. Everyone does a bit of alliteration and it fits nicely. We did lose 600 brave dwarves today, but I think our complete lack of any organisation actually did stand us in good stead in the end. The enemy cavalry was so intent on hitting Belegar that they just completely ignored our cannons until the final throes of the battle when it didn't matter anymore. The cannons didn't do wonderfully well, as you can see, 34 and 45, but their main purpose here is not to kill units, it's to kill single entities, which they do very, very well. You'll note the Arachnarok was sent packing almost immediately. Never really got into the fight. I tell you what we do need to do as well, is we haven't had for a while had a look at the Oath Gold, and nor have we had a little look at the runes, and we are able to create 2 runes now. So it's unlocked more things. Missile armor piercing +5 +8. Missile damage. Let's get a missile damage rune involved. Rune of Iron, fire resistance, preservation, melee defense. Melee defense I wouldn't say no to because we're about to be defending in Karak Izor. Fatigue resistance. Oh yeah, go on. Craft the rune word. Boom, bish, bash, bosh. Don't worry about charge. Melee attack can go up. Armor, magic resistance. What was that other one at the end? Melee defense again. Yeah, go on, melee defense again. What the hell? Let's really boost our melee defense. Missile range. Yes, please. And craft that as well. And there we are. Word of Gotrek Starbreaker. For the next 10 turns, we get all of those advantages, which is nice. And those are army-wide, which is very nice indeed. And the Great Book. We need to kill Argor, and he's buggered off, so that's going to go unmet for a long time. And disappointingly, we also, the Abominable Puppet Grudge. Win 3 battles against the following vampire counts. Although that one doesn't seem to be gaining any steam. No, I don't think so. We don't have any issues from the Grudge. Oh, indeed, look here, satisfied. We're still currently insatisfied. The Groby one's going to grow, though. Disappointing. Disappointing. Alright, Belegar, what can you actually train? How much money have we got? Oh, like no money whatsoever. Oh, you can't train a single thing. There's some Slayers with axe throwers. Of course, from the wider world, we can get some better things. Including a gyrocopter now, actually. But I don't really like gyrocopters. I think they're useless. Organ guns. Iron Drakes with troll hammer torpedoes. Oh, that's cool. No, let us await then the building of our barracks here. Although, while we can, definitely upgrade that to a dwarf outpost. We'll keep the army here for a moment. Or else, in 2 turns, Crooked Fang Fort will actually have a sizable garrison, really. So it'll be able to hold itself. There you are. Make yourself specialist again. Right, hold there for a time. And construction cost, recruitment cost. I think we should do that because we're about to be training. We don't need to worry too much about Untainted. Ah, no, we do. Untainted is rising. And it is because we border the Strigos Empire in Morkheim. Damn dirty vampiric bastards. Right, end the turn. I've been playing over the past couple of days quite a bit of Vermintide 2 myself as well, with Jessica actually, because she has owned it for a while, so I got her to download it as well. In anticipation of the free update that comes out on the 20th of April. Chaos Rising or something it's called, and it comes with 15 new maps, which is mad. And I do wonder if it's in response to the overwhelming negativity that Fat Shark, the creators of Vermintide 2, have received on their DLC policy. Because at the moment, as of yesterday evening, on Steam, if you wanted every single DLC for Vermintide 2, it would cost you just shy of £100, which is about $150 if you're in America. And which is madness. Obviously, you'll appreciate that's absolute madness. And most of those, in fact, I should say a full 3/4 of those DLCs are cosmetic packs, which is just madness. And the actual DLCs themselves, some of them, the proper DLC, is about, one of them's about £7, one's £12, and one's £15. And they give you like 1 or 2 maps, tops. And you just think, 1 or 2 maps, that's absolute nonsense. Absolute nonsense. So it seems that this free update that they're bringing out, which adds a whole heap of maps, seems to be in response to that. Oh, we need to be level 2 before we can build that. Oh, well, we're going to be level 2 in just a moment, so... what can you get instead, Velias? Sorry. No, we could finally get the Rangers, but I'm not sure I really want to get the Rangers. I think money. We should get something that's money related. We don't really need to bother with that because we've got it in Karak 8 Peaks, and those are the 2 military, so the Rangers are really our best bet, aren't they? But then we just don't need Rangers, and it's not a particularly useful building, so no, I'm just going to go with a Trinket Maker, I think. We've already got a Trinket Maker, though. How much, what do you bring? Oh, you're just Public Order and Dwarf Beer Kegs. No money at all. And then you're that trading one, which wouldn't be the end of the world, but I'd rather build that in Karak 8 Peaks, so we're going to get one of them. Belegar went up as well. Belegar, have you got anything that makes it cheaper to recruit things? Ambush defense, research. No. You've got that pure bid though, which increases your untainted. Oh, let's give him Mighty Oathstone, yeah. Turning him into a bit of a monster, aren't we? A bit of a warrior king. Warriors! Ah, and Alfric, well done. I'm not entirely certain that we're even going to be attacked, to be honest, but best laid plans. It's better to be prepared, as the scouts always said. What is Grimgore's extent over here? He's gone all the way up into the eastern regions of the Border Princes. Karak are moving, hopefully, to take that western Badland province that I told them to. Ah, and they've also moved into Blightwater, so we've lost the opportunity to take that, which is a shame. I'm not sure that Grimgore's going to be too bothered with us. As all this time he's focusing on me, the other dwarves are just ruining his existence wholesale. Krabdoman's now fallen. It won't be long before Karak falls thereafter. I've targeted Bitterstone Mine as our war target, although actually I'm not sure that I have.
Welcome, friends of the WHII.
Oh no, I have. They're just ignoring it. They're going to keep that army out there raiding for days. You guys might as well just stay there healing up for now. And because we'll have that building shortly. In fact, only one more turn. Oh, it only gives us Quarrelers and Quarrelers Great Weapons. It's not even actually what I'm really after. We need the 3rd tier for our Longbeards, which is what, as a minimum, we want to upgrade to Longbeards. And who's the unit in the middle? Longbeards with Great Weapons. Yes, quite. Karak 8 Peaks is where we can get the building that we really seek, which we've already discussed before at length many times, and it is the Hall of Oaths. Oaths, I suppose, is the better pronunciation. Karak Izor, can you get a Hall of Oaths?
Let us begin.
You probably can, can't you? Yeah, you can, but you also need to be a 4. Nowhere's a 4. So for the time being, we just want Longbeards. I could get them on the global, but that we can train maybe 1 unit at a time on the global. It's just not fast enough. So, but at least we'll get the 2 Crooked Fang Fort now has a garrison that's at least dependable, and I think that's all we'd really need. Karak are really blending through. They will pay me 3,000 for a military alliance. Hells to the yes. Welcome to the fray, Reichland. Smashing. I'll side with you. You guys are storming your way through that. And you've cleared the corruption that borders me in the Southern Grey Mountains, actually. It looks like the Wood Elves are going to be our main adversary. Oh, here he comes. Oh, Helman Gorst. What on earth are you doing? Dwarves. We've been ambushed by the bloody undead. Nothing sends my blood a boil more than the bloody undead. Absolute shambolic. Disgraced alive. We'll put them down. We shall put them all down. Now, Elman Gorst is a legendary lord, but his army seems pretty weak and pathetic. So, and from various memes I've seen on the interwebs, he is considered quite terrible. But, I mean, he's still a lord. He's still going to give us grief, isn't he? So, I don't think he's going to be quite as terrible as we would like him to be. There's a nice little hill just here. Our grudge throwers can start firing straight away. Just as the orcs declare a crusade against our capital, the undead crawl from their holes. Have we got anything that shoots? Ah, all of you shoot. Got loads of shots. Nicely done, boyos. Aggressive dwarf warriors. For the ancestors. What's that over there? Corpse cart. Right. Otherwise, though, skeleton spearmen. Dun 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 dun. Zombies behind. Crypt ghouls at the back there. Now, the one thing you can always rely on with the undead is, of course, that they're not going to shoot you because they don't have anything that shoots anything. So all the shooting is to be done by us. Take down this skeleton spearman. I must confess that as much as I hate the undead, there is an odd pleasure in watching the skeletons march in complete unison. And of course, despite the undead being pure, raw evil of a very refined kind, they aren't, strictly speaking, allies of chaos. They are in that small little neutral category who would rather rule the whole world themselves and not in the service to any gods. Just for their own furtherment and advancement. The Wood Elves are similar in that vein. While strictly speaking, they'd never really side with chaos. All they care about, really, is defending the forests. And if chaos came to them and said, look, we'll give you complete autonomy over your forest if you just do what we say, the Wood Elves might join in. Very unlikely, but they Creative Assembly, not Creative Assembly, but Games Workshop has created a very fluid realm with lots of possibilities. Oh, they're not doing terribly well, our grudge throwers. I'll tell you what, actually, just target whatever you like. You just got those failbacks down. Charging, get those charge bonuses. Oh, they came and hit our backline. Oh, you dirty bastards. Let's get him killed off, please. I've just made him stand still. Now is your time. If he dies, the army will disintegrate into nothingness. Grudge thrower is not the best thing to target. Best thing to shoot him, but it doesn't really have any other targets at the moment. He's moving again. Dwarf warriors versus crypt ghouls. I know that they look like horrors from the deep, but you are dwarf warriors of Clan Angrund. And not only that, but we've taken back Karak 8 Peaks against the odds in defiance of our brothers and kin. Many said we would not accomplish our goal, and here we stand, lords of 8 Peaks. These pathetic, shambling excuses for life will not hold us back. Oh dear, that was a blow that you don't want to see, do you? Grudge throwers, I welcome your candour, but you appear to be killing us more than you are killing them. Dwarf warriors, pull out. Lock him in place. Hit him. He's got an awful lot of health, doesn't he? This tactic normally works a right charm. Otherwise, though, if we can get him down, which it looks like we're going to be able to do, I think we've got this. Dwarf warriors pull out so the archers can hit him. Come on, quarrelers, keep giving him everything you've got. He's free to move again, bugger. That one slows him down and does a little bit of damage. Oh, turn and face, turn and face!
Nothing could stop us.
Alright, let's go and get you to charge into the back of something. The beauty of fighting the undead is that they don't run away, they disintegrate into nothing. And it makes for a nice clean battlefield, I always think. Alright, our campaign against Gorst has to be lifted in a little. As many of our units in the middle are routing. But if we can get Gorst killed off, this whole game will change. And he's so close to dying. Yes, down he goes. Right, and with that, I think you'll then see instant victory. Yes, I love the undead so much. How weak and pathetic they truly are is just so wonderful for a commander of Dwarven might. I am thoroughly enjoying Warhammer, I must confess. I realise that most people don't really watch Warhammer on the channel, and that is absolutely fine. But I'm going to continue plugging away with this, I'm afraid. And I'm absolutely going to be playing as the Empire next, because my time in Vermintide and running around the ruins of Helmgart Keep has been really enjoyable and really made me want to play as the Empire and bring some peace and prosperity to the world. So I might play as them next. And I just really like the Hellblaster volley guns and the rocket batteries. Although, what I like most about humanity is that I am one of them. I feel like I can get behind their campaign so much better because it's like I'm fighting for myself. Hellman has been sent on an expedition to see if there are other viable locations to spread root of undeath, as their grand empire, as they would have called it at one time, completely crumbles like the warriors they use on the field, as the Reichland slowly takes back Sylvania and pushes the undead masters into oblivion. And they've sent Gorst out to find suitable locations for rehousing their vast armies of death. Oh, the Wood Elves starting to thaw. Smashing. I don't really want to fight the Wood Elves. We have no use for their forest home. Growth, public order, recruitment costs. Yeah, go on. Faction destroyed, Bone Rattlers. Belegar just gained income and construction trait. Oh, well done, Belegar. That makes you more useful as a governor. Argor Brainbash has come, but why can we not cross this damned river easier? If we go underneath it... Oh, yes, because he won't be able to cross the river either. He's currently in March stance. Oh, that's interesting. Will he ambush us? No, he will not. But we can jump between the two. Absolutely no trouble. Valai is arguably the one we want to hold the most, but we can take it back if need be. Where are you going to go now, Argor? I'm ready for you. I'm ready to smash your brains into smithereens and eat them with my morning breakfast. Do we want to build that? No, what we want is Belegar... balls to it. What we want is Belegar to train those forces. But he's just moved, so he will not be able to train those forces. Got to wait a turn. I feel like we should save those funds so that we can just give him a one-off hit of forces. Yes, we'll end the turn. Let's see what Argor does. I really want to move out against Grimgore, though. Because... We're rapidly losing targets to attack. You'll note from the minimap that Grimgore's realms are being completely, totally controlled by our dwarven kin. Karak are smashing Grimgore. Oh, and they've come. And they have come. And it's Grimgore himself again with Argor as a lead. Oh, and they've got both of their wars. You're supposed to attack Karak Izor. That's the point of your war. But we've just got our garrison, so we've got the extra troops. A few of them, at least. Although Belegar's army is now slightly depleted. This is going to be such a tough battle. We don't have anything of note. Oh, dear. I'm not sure we're going to win this. I think we might... We're possibly about to see Belegar's defeat. What a battle this is going to be. Dwarven might is about to be tested, and he doesn't even have a full banner army. We are woefully outnumbered. Extremely outnumbered. We're going to have to corner camp. There's no two ways about it. It's cheesy, and it's a terrible tactic, but it's what's necessary and what is needed in the situation. It means our cannons are going to be next to useless, though. But such it is. Such is life. You've got to remove their numbers threat, and the only way you can do that is by funneling them, and the corner of the map's the only place you can funnel anyone in to any degree. But our cannons, I really want our cannons to have use. And there's a nice little hill here, and it feels so cheesy going to the corner. I can feel respect for myself ebbing away. We got two reinforcements coming in over there. So those are the reinforcements of him. Those are his war, and that's where Grimgore and Grimgore's war are going to be coming from. And we've got a bit of an edge there. I am going to stay here. I am going to stay here. Move those a bit further back. Turn on your head there. Right. So, quarrelers for days. Some of them have great weapons, actually, which is handy. We don't have very many melee forces. Well, we do, but they're just not very good. We've only got 3 Thunderers. Thunderers! Are you going to get shot in the head by cannon fire there? No, I don't think so. Right, Thunderers. And group you together so I've got all 3 of you in one place. And then melee forces... Oh, I don't know what to do for you with you. Right, we definitely need this flank protected, so... We're not going to go with the gap method. We're just going to protect the flank. And then we can go with a bit more of a gap. I've got 3 miners who are going to come over on this right-hand side. And then we've got those 2 Dwarf Warriors with great axes. I'll tell you what I'm going to do with you is I'm going to charge you through any gaps that appear. And then what to do with the Quarrelers is the question. Where's the best place for the Quarrelers to go? I'll tell you what, let's go with a tactic of old. Have the Quarrelers on the flank. And then either they'll then come on the Quarrelers or they'll go for the siege. But in either way, we've got an answer. Belegar, you go there. You go there. And you, fellow, stand in that gap there. Let's bloody well do this. Miners! Right, miners, stop cavalry getting through. Miners, stop cavalry getting through. And miners, stand in front of those. Now, they might not try and flank this aggressively, but if they do, we're ready for them. Alright, cannons. Tell me you can hit that rogue idol. This army's not very good at all. That one I'm not too worried about. It's Grimgore and his ilk that's going to be the issue. But if we can get some destruction rained down on Debuggen, get that rogue idol taken out. It's taking a bit of a beating. I don't need to pin it in place just yet. In fact, I don't think we'll need to because it throws things, doesn't it? So it'll stand still in a moment on its own anyway, and then the cannons can deal with it. Oh, he has insane range. Blimey. Absolutely murdering those boar weakens. Nice to see. To see you nice. The reinforcement armies are all quite a way away, so Argor's army, this little fellow, they're going to go down quite nicely. Can't help but notice, cannons, that the big un is still thundering towards us. Bring it down! Yeah, this army's just going to fall in seconds. They've been offered up as bait for the slaughter. How outnumbered are we? Oh, not too bad actually yet. We need to kill Argor because we have a grudge against him, and the longer that goes unpunished. Look at the Quarrelers. When the Quarrelers unleash, it's raw fury. Just thundering down at them. He's plodding his way through, right? He's getting a bit too close for comfort. Move that line forward. Hit that big one. Right, Dwarf Warriors, curl around a bit there. Curl around a bit there. Move the archers forward. Ah, there we go, he's dead. Or he's dying. Now kill what you like. Targets are your own. "20 seconds. Come on, get him killed, get him killed. It's a shame we don't have the Rune of Restraint. Not the Rune of Restraint. Yes, he's dead anyway. It matters not. Fantastic work all around, chippy chappies. Our siege is proving... Yeah, if we'd gone to the corner, it would have been disaster. Whereas here, we're actually able to use our siege. But those Dwarf Warriors have taken a pounding. And Belegar's sitting over there not doing out. Belegar, you swap to there, and you come over here. Dwarf Warriors. Dwarf Warriors. Dwarf Warriors with great weapons. Right, let's slow it down a bit. The mine is still protecting on that right hand side. We're going to put the Dwarf Warriors with great weapons into the line. So You guys can move around a bit, actually. So, miners, you can take up a proper stance there so that you're forming a line. Come on, I moved you over there. Go and do it. You can be a bit thicker there. Warriors, that's a goodly thickness. Move it a bit further over, though. Similarly with yourselves. Oh, dear. Now the real fight begins. With the coming of the main armies. Quarrelers move up. Quarrelers move up. Thunderers. Into positions. Let's do this. Cannons. Where's Grimgore? There is that lump of absolute disgust. There he is. The cannons, you have one clear task. Bring down Grimgore Ironhide. His army. We have hardly any range covering that left-hand side. Oh dear. Oh, he has taken a bit of a pounding. Well done, cannons. Well done. Fiddle around. Pin him in place. Hit some of those with some magic damage. Oh, we're definitely going to want to swing the line round in a moment. These guys over here are basically out of the battle at the moment. They're going to decimate these goblins. It's pathetic. Sending goblins against me. Send something that actually is going to work, you treacherous oaf. Pull back a bit. Those miners are going to die. You just know it. Send in the flames. Shoot the things in front of you. Cannons, keep bringing down Grimgore Ironhide. Bring down those black orcs. Swivel around. Oh, I think we are going to absolutely decimate this in truth. Where did Grimgore go? He's not dead yet, is he? It's annoying that he has the same banner as the individual orcs. Oh, there he is. Go on, cannons. One more and he's yours. Yes, down he goes. New target. Bring down Gorebag. Oh, this is ours. The day is ours. This is true dwarven superiority on display here. Makes you proud to be a dwarf, of which I am not. But were I a dwarf, I'd be very, very proud. Many of them are routing. The cowards flee before us. Oh, the miners are going down, but that's expected. Miners are definitely a unit you want to avoid. They hold the same role as miners in DAC, incidentally, which I find quite interesting. Completely useless after the first sort of 15 or so turns, and their sole purpose is to die. Every nation has an arrow fodder unit, and for the dwarves it's the miners. Now I presume if you bring the ones with the charges, they throw a little explosion before they go into the fight. They're probably worth at least something. But the majority of them seem to be of little to no use. The problem is going to come now that we're starting to run out of ammunition, though. Ah, but there we are. That's another general dead. Right, cannons. Reposition into that gap there. Same with the grudge throwers. Oh, I've got dwarf warriors. The great weapons doing sod all at the back there. I haven't even used it. Oh, that's good. So we've got a backup. Go and stand with those dwarf warriors. I don't actually think we're going to need to worry too much anymore about... they're all coming from in front of us. So just form a line. Move the whole army into a more conventional line. There's a feral wyvern coming.
Cannon!
Our correlers are moving into position. I can't pin that wyvern in place, I'm afraid, chaps. Yeah, no, cannons. Fire whatever you like. Once the correlers are in position, everything will change. Come on, guys. I know you're a little tired, but let's at least move with some intent. Oh, the wyvern's routing. Everything's routing. Oh dear, yeah, no, they are. They're done and dusted. We've just got to wait for them all to realise that there's no hope left here. And then the day's ours. Let's split you out a bit so that the Thunderers still have a clear line of sight. There are still some troops out here today. Forest Goblin Spider Riders are coming. Oh, the Wyvern's coming back. It hasn't had enough yet. Ah, we're out of grudge. We're out of grudges. Never thought I'd see the day. Who's leading this merry band of morons? What are we on now? Oh, we outnumber them 2-1. Come on, this is... The day is ours, surely. Ah, yeah, it slowly is ours. Yes! The mightiest dwarven victory you've ever known. Absolutely ruining their day. Left, right, centre, upside down, backwards and forwards. What a glorious victory. I'm very excited to see what the kill stats are like in the end of this one. Ooh! Baruch Kazad. Kazad Manu. In our primary army, we have 324 kills from one of the grudge throwers. Even the cannon's got 177, 227, 226, 226. Very good ranged numbers there. 263, 205. Not many killed by our generals, although the gunman took 60 down, which is quite nice to see him getting involved. Argor's army, of course, was decimated with little to no effect. He went out on a song, really. Fan-bloody-tastic. We lost an entire Dwarf Warrior battalion, but that's to be expected. Grimgore died. Grimgore comes back in awfully quickly, doesn't he? I shall release your captives and sell them on. She's tried to steal from us, and she succeeded. And now we're being raided in the southern Grey Mountains by the Undead. It's not enough that they exist when no one wants them. They now seek to raid those that try to get on with their lives. Our army will have to move out to deal with them. Ah, you want peace as well, don't you? And you're going to pay me for it. Oh dear. You all want peace, don't you? Yep. Happy to seek peace with the Wood Elves. They've stolen technology. We're being raided. They're ready for duty. And our grudge has been removed. 2 of them. But a grudge has been issued on the raider. What a fantastic win that was. Right. We've got a shed load of money, but before we do anything related to the money, let's get...
Revenge incarnate.
We could just nip out and kill Nash first. Before he buggers off and creates more forces. So let's just go and finish him real quick.
Setting forth.
Ah, there we go. That had no impact. We can get back in the same turn. Brilliant. Right, Belegar. I've been making your Thunderer better. Yeah, let's keep making the army better. We max out at 40, don't we, if memory serves? So we've only got till level 40 until they don't gain any more points. Relentless wouldn't be too bad. And with defensive coordinator is so niche because towers are only really present in so few settlements, and the chance of him being defending in one of those settlements is so low. Let's improve your speed. Okay. Right, thank you Dwarf Warriors for your service, but we definitely need to upgrade you.
Belegar Ironhammer. True King.
Alright, from this location we can get Dwarf Warriors of the Great West, we get Slayers. In comparison, the Slayers are just all round better than Dwarf Warriors. And what about Slayers with throwing axes? Oh, they don't have any armour. Oh, the armour is where they drop off. Of course, because they're like berserkers, aren't they? In the truest form of the word. We will take a couple of those to have an aggressive flank. And then we're going to have to call upon recruitment from the wider world, sadly. Do we not have a tier 2 barracks anywhere? So I've just removed those Dwarf Warriors, and actually we don't have anything to replace them with. Stonemasons are now arguably our best bet. What's a Stonemason compared to a Dwarf Warrior? Oh, way better! I'd rather do it the other way around, actually. More health, more armour, more... They're slightly slower, but otherwise they're just all-round better. Armoured, armour-piercing, and anti-large. Armoured and shielded, charge defence against large foes. So they lose the charge defence. Oh, there we are. The normal Stonemason. Ah, yes, so normal Stonemasons, welcome, you're going to join us. I will take 4 of them. And I'm tempted to drop off a grudge thrower to get a normal... No, that should be alright. I'm wondering if the Slayers are really all that worthwhile, or if it's better to simply get more Quarrelers. And also the question is very much, are Quarrelers or Quarrelers with great weapons better? Quarrelers with great weapons do more melee attack, they have less defense, they have slightly greater weapon strength, and they have a better charge bonus. So they're good. No, normal Quarrelers, I would have thought, then are a better bet. They have a higher melee defense, and that's more likely for archers. They're going to be attacked by a thing, aren't they? So I think it's better to keep them without the great weapons for now. Alright, so in a turn he'll have a much nicer army, which is good to see. Valia's Sorrow, give me a gate. Give me the Tinkerer's Shop, that's everything we can build over this way. And then we can upgrade... Ah, yes, that you can get a mustering hall. I'll definitely get that in. And then here, Festa Spike. Yes, please. You're going to be attacked, apparently, so let's get you upgraded. And we can get the final Leatherworkers Guild, which gives us growth, replenishment, and more furs, which isn't all that useful, but it'll do for now. And there's a Stonemason. Now, our Stonemasons, as has been mentioned, will get various bonuses if we build more Stonemason buildings. So, the Stonemason line... It boosts the stonemasons depending on where you build it. So here, if we were to build it in the vaults and get that chapter of copper at the highest tier, it gives a melee attack of +6 for all stonemasons. And upkeep cost is down by 5% for stonemasons as well. Whereas if we were to jump over to Karak 8 Peaks, and if we were to build it here, it gives us a physical resistance of +10% for stonemasons, and then again further upkeep reduction. So it's not the end of the world, and in fact it's arguably an ideal course of action to build it in more than one place. So I think when both of these can upgrade next, we will look to build it. So at the minute we're untainted in public order. Public order can serve to lose 2 and it won't matter. Why have we got a -10 faction debuff in Karak Izor? We've taken Karak 8 Peaks some time ago. But this place has a -11 faction debuff for some reason. Tainted, though, is in our favour. So I think we could probably afford to swap over to the growth one. Get this place upgraded quicker. Yeah. And how are we doing up in Festa Spike? You're currently on the growth plan. But you could arguably swap to something that gives us money, actually, because Festa Spike's just upgraded, and now the only thing left is Karak Azkaraz, and it only needs 2, so if we were to lose 30 growth, I don't think that's going to affect it too much, so... We can do Untainted and Public Order, but again, your Public Order is unnecessary, and your Untainted is growing quite nicely, so let's just go with the tax rate. High King's Tribute. How are we doing in research before we end this episode? Valia's Protection... We'll get +3 Untainted additionally across the world in a moment, so that's pretty handy. Oh, and there we are, an additional 5% tax rate at the Grand Throne Chamber. Reload time for artillery, that's pretty nice. Melee strength for thunderers. Oh, missile strength, sorry, ignore that. Oh, and Iron Drakes get a bonus with that one. Iron Drakes are the flamethrowers. +2 for quarrelers and thunderers. Leadership. There's so many research options for us. Faction-wide Untainted, income from mines, and fear when fighting Skaven, but we need 10,000 gold coins to do that. Construction costs are down. Construction time is down. That's not too bad. Income from salt mines and whatnot is all up. Income from mines and gold mines. Leadership under siege. Alright, well, we'll worry about that in a turn, I suppose. But for now, I'm going to end the episode there then. Absolutely fantastic thus far. The War called upon Karak Izor I don't think will actually come of anything, to be honest, because Grimgore, at the moment, is more interested in, and probably keener, to keep himself alive than he is to worry about
Friends of the Dowie.
coming and killing my capital, given that we are slaughtering him. Combined might of the dwarves is taking down his armies down here, so I don't think Karak Izor is going to be attacked. So what I will just do is send that army out
Let us begin.
and head up to Festus Spike to deal with the vampire force that's roaming around here. Because as you can see, the vampires are being slowly and quite soundly beaten. Beaten out of absolutely everywhere they hope to control down here in their heartlands. And it looks like they don't even own Sylvania anymore. Dear oh dear. Migdal Vongel Barach is their only region by the looks of it. So it won't be long before they're dead. So let's just go and deal with that fellow and get him out of our realm. But for now, that is going to conclude. So thank you very much for watching, if indeed you have. I hope you've enjoyed watching this as much as I've enjoyed playing it. And until we speak again, dear friends, Navarre na den Pedimad Melonin, and farewell.